Hey, welcome to Blue Jay Banner Postgame Show. We are live on the YouTube channel, as you well know. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out a ton. Please hit that subscribe button. We've had to slow down subscribers, and we know a bunch of people that listen to this aren't subscribers. So please do that. It helps us out a bunch. Uh, yeah, I can't. I can't take any more of this team. I just can't. I just can't. Just. It's
I don't want to be
just.
that guy, Tim, but we lost to DePaul and we now play Villanova at St. John's and at UConn the next three games.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we play Villanova at home. I'm not, I have to say of the like teams we played, like Villanova can score, but of those like the last 5 teams we played or 6 teams, they're the least prowess defensively. I mean, they don't really get in your face. They're good defensively, but they don't get in your face like these other teams. I told you we're only going to win 2 more. If Saturday's one, that'll be 2. I mean, maybe we win at DePaul here at home. I don't know. Maybe Providence here at home. I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, now we just kind of got, but I think Georgetown has UConn coming up next. So win or lose, we'll still stay a game ahead of them. Um, but yeah, I just, it just, I just lost it at the end of the first half. You cannot allow that to happen to their best scorer to get that wide open. What the hell are we doing? And I'm going to point blank ask us that. Like, what are we doing? You need
Definitely
to
some bone
switch
chillers there.
everything there,
Yeah.
or go to a zone where you don't allow that pass to come in. I mean, I just don't understand. I just don't understand that. And you could say, well, that was at the end. That lost us the ball game right there. Because then they came out and they hit 4 points right off the bat, so they went on a 7-0 run. We would have had a 5-point lead. That's a big difference than a 2-point lead coming out of the halftime. That's a big difference. You just can't do that. And just the idiotic mistakes tonight again. Jesus God, how many times does it go? You know, I know
Right.
that stepping in the lane didn't hurt us, but how can you do
Yeah. I
that,
mean,
man?
that's happened way too many times this year.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to ask you this because I know everybody's thinking it. Should they have called a timeout when they had the ball with 5 seconds
Yes.
left?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, drop a
You
play
could
for
tell they were
Dix or
going to trap.
Schwartz or,
They knew Graves was going to try and hit another miracle shot. Max should have called a timeout right away.
yeah.
I don't understand that. That lightning wasn't going to strike twice. Now with this team, and he's brilliant at setting up plays. He could have got something.
I mean, 14 for 27 from three and we lose.
Yeah,
Tough.
and they're bragging about how we hit 50%. When you get outscored in the paint that badly, it really doesn't matter.
They
And
got anything they wanted down there.
again, they're bigger. I get that. We don't have anybody that size to deal with their big guy. I get that. But I mean, Swartz just gets back down and taken right to the hole every time and put up zero resistance. In the first half, uh, Owen went out to try and make a play on a guy, which I commend him for. And he got by him, going to the hoop. And Graves was standing there and he just stood there like he wasn't going to get anywhere near the guy going to the hole. Like, what are you doing?
It's like they're so scared to foul that they play very weak. And I mean, I know we know that. We've seen that the last couple of years, but it gets
Well,
frustrating at times.
I hate, like we'll get into the worst call of the night, but that didn't help either. That was a jump ball. That was 100% a jump ball. There
Or
was
let
not a
them play. I
foul.
didn't
That
really
was a
see a lot
jump
of foul
ball.
there at all.
And Graves
Yeah.
seems to get a lot of shit called on him, like for some reason. I don't know if, he doesn't get the benefit of the calls ever.
Right.
By the way, I want to thank our sponsors, CareMinders Home Health Care and RTI Threads. You can chat. We've got a couple in already. You can chat. We'll take your comments. We would really like you to come on because it may just be me and AJ tonight, and You can already tell I've just had it. I'm wore out. I can't take this anymore. Like, so here's what you do is very simply, just send an email to that address, bluejaybanner@gmail.com. Send an email. AJ will send you the link. Boom, you're on the show. All right. Debo did it a few weeks ago. It was awesome. He was great. And that was I believe that was a crushing loss too, wasn't it? No, that was a blowout. It was a blowout.
Yeah, I think that might have been a Marquette game.
I mean, I just, and God bless Hud. I mean, comes in, plays his tail off. He's just not there defensively yet. But that wasn't the time or the place for him to jack up a three right there. It was closely guarded. We could have got something. We could have got a better shot than that.
Graves took a really bad shot with like a minute and a half left too. I was kind
Yes,
of
and
like,
then we got into. We were just Swartz got the matchup he wanted. I wish he would have taken it all the way to the hole and then dished off. Because I think they would have collapsed there. Somebody could have got a better look. But again, he kind of carried us in the half when we couldn't score.
he did.
You know, I don't know. Anyway, send us your chats. Again, there's the email. We'd prefer you do it that way. So you come on the show with us, and as you've seen through the year, things said in chat can be misinterpreted versus coming on and stating your case, which I would like people to do. And here's the sad part about this. Tonight we saw just a glimmer of Owen. Just a glimmer. He wasn't great. We saw just a glimmer. And I'm thinking, okay, we win this game. Now we're building on something here. I just.
Yeah, I mean, good rebounding from Owen. Outside of that, I still thought the offense was not there. But
Well,
you
no,
know,
no,
I
it isn't, and we're not asking him to do that right now. And he had a good block because they were killing us with that little lob thing, and he blocked that shot. That was big at a time when we kind of took control of the game there for a
mhm.
brief, fleeting moment. Um, yeah, there just doesn't seem to be like I don't know. Everybody says his team's close, and I guess they are. They've gone through a lot. I get that. We're going through another chapter tomorrow and the next day.
I don't know. I kind of feel dumb saying this because I've been kind of preaching like, why isn't Hudson Greer getting more minutes? But then I was kind of finding myself saying, why is Hudson Greer in the last 2 minutes of this game when it's this close and he's been blowing defensive coverages the whole game? Just seems a little odd.
I don't know that he blew him the whole game. I thought there was a
He
couple of
was,
times he played pretty good defense.
yeah, sure, yeah, he had good possessions, but he got burned multiple times.
Well, tell me, are you going to put Blake Harper in? You going to
Yeah,
put Blake Harper in? He
for
gets
sure.
killed on defense. He gets
I,
killed.
that was the
Oh,
athleticism we
AJ,
needed.
rewatch the game.
That was the
He
athleticism
got
we needed down
took.
the stretch.
Oh no,
Just saying.
no.
Hey,
I
you know who blew
actually,
that shot right before halftime?
well, what's that?
You know who blew that defensive coverage on the shot before halftime?
Wasn't Hudson?
Hmm.
Hudson was on. No. You're so wrong. Hudson was on the inbound. That's not Hudson's guy. Hudson's on the inbound.
Okay.
Josh got screened. They could have called a foul, but okay, they didn't. Who's ever he came up and screened, that guy's got to go out and get him. Josh can't get around that screen quick enough to get into all the way in the corner. Now, you could debate, okay, went all the way to the corner, caught the ball, turned and shot in a second. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
I saw
long.
Lou kind of complaining at the end of the half. But no, Hudson was on the ball. That's not Hudson's job.
All right.
I mean, that's got to be switched by somebody else. Now, Hudson was in the vicinity, so Hudson just went out there and tried to do it, but that's not Hudson's responsibility because he's on the ball. He's got to actually, watch the guy on the ball. Wow, there's only 1 second left, so he wouldn't
1
really have
second.
to do that.
Yeah.
Frankly, we wouldn't. You know what? 2020 hindsight here, but we probably could have just not guarded the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, then the guy bounces it off somebody. But then, that's kind of tough to do in a second.
Yeah, not if you're not guarding the ball.
I just that just killed our momentum. Just killed it. We had control of the game. We worked so hard to get control of the game. All right, it's time for Coach's Corner.
Okay.
And we're going to bring Coach Al Hassan here, and we'll ask him some of these pressing questions. Hey, Coach.
What's up, guys?
Talk about the last possession defensively, and then turn our attempt to go down and score.
Yeah, I mean, we got what we wanted, which was, statistically our best defensive player on a player that's, not their best offensive player, and slipped just a little bit on the out of bounds play. Got a little bit of an angle, and I thought maybe Jason had a chance to make a play on it. He got tangled up with Benson just a little bit, and obviously way too easy a look down there, at that point in the game. Really came down to that. They had possession before. Austin had a chance one-on-one versus their center. They got really handsy, kept him out of the lane. Probably a 2-foot chuck there, just a 2-foot hand chuck a little bit there, but he didn't go through the contact, and they put their head down and got to the rim. We didn't. And then on the last play, Mac wanted to go quick with Nick, and Hudson came out of the corner a little bit, didn't stay flat and give him space, and we got discombobulated. We tried to call a late timeout, and the official didn't see it, and the clock expired.
Oh, okay. So you were going to call timeout there, okay.
I think if you can see him with about 4 seconds left trying to call it. For whatever reason, the official didn't see him, and Josh Dix tried to start calling it with about 2 left.
But how does official not be aware of that? Because it's the first thing, if I was an official, I'd be looking for is,
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for those guys. They got their eyes on the action, don't want to miss something at that point in the game.
They're getting paid too, Al. They're getting paid too.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned Jason. I watched the replay. It kind of looked like Jason might have touched it a hair, and then the guy kind of regained it and shot it. Like he got a small piece of it.
Yeah, he got tangled up with Benson. That kept him from being kind of a vertical waller at the rim. But at the end of the day, you can't give the layup with the game on the line at that point. That's unacceptable on our part.
I mean, obviously we didn't want him to get that many points in the paint, but was that kind of what you thought would happen, is they would get their fair share in there as long as we didn't let Gunn go off and some other guys from the outside?
I mean, I don't know if that was necessarily the plan. I mean, we're a defense. If you just look statistically, we take away 3-point opportunities. They got, especially the second chance points in the first half were probably the difference in the game, and obviously a massive free throw rebound where we don't execute the plan, was huge, and we had multiple opportunities to close that game out and just weren't able to execute.
What about the play at the very end of the half with 1 second left?
I mean, same. We were in zone, and then they switched their play. We went to man. It was tough. The officials told us there were 0.7 seconds left, so we thought we needed to be in to take care of their lob, take away their lob,
right.
With that. And then we came out of the timeout, and there was a miscommunication between the officials and our staff, and there ended up being a second on the clock, which opened it up to probably something we weren't 100% prepared for, and definitely didn't communicate to our players. So that part was disappointing, but it's kind of something that happens.
Yeah, that was just a momentum killer because we'd worked so hard to get that 5-point lead, and then they scored, and then they come out of the half with the ball and score again, and then they score again. So it was a 7-point run right there, and it just, would have given us a chance to move ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there were guys at the end of the day. The tougher team won. They beat us up at the rim. They beat us up in the paint. We made a bunch of jump shots that kept us close, but the tougher team won today.
There was a couple. The last 4 or 5 minutes, I thought the ball was on the floor, and we really didn't, go after it like we have. And they did.
Yeah, so, I mean, that part's disappointing. Got a chance to close it out with free throw rebound. Got a chance to close it out with one defensive stop. At the end of the day, that's what you practice for. You practice to those situations under pressure, and you hope that when you've done enough, when you get in those moments, and we didn't have enough tonight.
How do you think HUD did overall today?
Yeah, he made some jump shots in the first half. I thought he did some good things defensively. I mean, look around out there. There's not that many freshmen playing critical roles in college basketball. There's a reason. I mean, they got to kind of learn out there in front of your eyes, and when they make a mistake, it's it's out in front of everybody. But I thought he gave us some really good energy tonight, and he's going to get nothing but better. I mean, we had a lot of issues tonight. He wasn't one of them.
Yeah. I thought there was one point in the game he had Jason and Owen in the game at the same time. That was kind of a different look for us, and I thought we kind of actually had a nice little run there when that happened. It wasn't in there for very long, but
Yeah, I mean, minutes were terrific today. I mean, just no matter who the four-man was, he was really good. I mean, his 12 minutes, I think we were plus 18. Obviously, that was really, that was a positive sign tonight. Hopefully he can build off that, and we can continue to, have him play well down the stretch.
yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was a positive. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're really disappointed. We got to figure out a way to get these guys' heads right and have a couple of days prep for a really good Villanova team coming on Saturday. I hope we can, get a little help from our fans. We're going to need every ounce with this group. We just have such a small margin for error, and I thought we did enough probably to win tonight and made enough jump shots, and it's disappointing to not be able to close it out with a couple of toughness plays down the stretch.
One last question. We've kind of gone away from Isaac lately. When we went on that winning streak early, he was a key component. He was playing like 32 minutes. Now he's kind of gone away. Is that just matchup thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think he played quite a bit on Saturday. Then tonight they play small fours. He had a really hard time. They're putting him in, pen handoff actions, zoom actions, which are really difficult for him to navigate. And so we thought that Hudson gave us a little bit better look tonight. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't read too much into it. He'll be back in the next game.
No, I'm not just talking about tonight. Like obviously he played Saturday. He was 5 for 5 out of the gate,
Right.
and he shoots better at home. Everybody knows that. But just the games before that too, we'd kind of gone away from him a little bit. But everybody wants Hudson to get minutes, so minutes got to come from somewhere, right?
There's only 200 of them unless we get overtime.
We've had plenty of that, Al. Well, we'll let you get out of there, Al. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Fletch. All right,
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
That's assistant head coach Al Huss, coach in waiting, and his appearance was sponsored by CareMinders Home Health Care. If you're in need of care for your injured or ill loved one, please reach out to CareMinders. They are a wonderful sponsor of ours through the last couple of years, and we really, really appreciate it. Go to caremindersnebraska.com. You'll see everything they have to offer. And I think you'll be really, really happy with what you see on their website, the ease of their website, the ease of navigation. They give you full information on everything they do, and then you can give them a call and see if what they have meets your needs. So go to caremindersnebraska.com and check it out. That's CareMinders Home Health Care. Thank you very much. All right, what do you think of Al?
He said 3 comments about refs, which I was kind of surprised. And he didn't specifically call it out, but he talked about halftime, the 1 second versus 0.7. He said the refs told us 0.7. We went out there was 1. So our defense was ready for something that they had to do, like a lob or something they couldn't catch the ball and shoot. And that wasn't the case. And then he was talking about how Green kept getting tied up on that last play of the game, basically implying that there should have been maybe some sort of offensive moving screen hold type foul.
No, I'm mistaken. I'll have to listen to it again, but I thought he was talking about their big had his hands on Schwartz. I thought that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, and then the obviously the timeout at the end. I don't know how the refs didn't see a timeout call at the end. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing. I mean, Mac needs to run out on the floor. I mean, it's or do something to get their attention. I mean, That's criminal that, if we were trying to get a timeout, we didn't get it there. That's crazy. Because
Yeah, I don't think it
they
showed
got
that on
their
TV at
timeout
all
with clock running down.
right away. Yeah.
So I don't know about that. Yeah, Al spoke to me about that I've talked to him Friday, but a couple weeks before that, he talked to me about how there was a big push to have freedom of movement, and that's the way this season started out. And we were getting freedom of movement, and once we got things going, early in the conference season, and then they flipped it and he goes, it's become football again. And that's basically what's been going on.
Yeah.
Now, oddly enough, I watched some of the Seton Hall Province game. Oddly enough, they were calling that game close tonight. And I can't think of a better guy that verbalized all this than Brad Underwood at Illinois the other night when they lost Wisconsin. He just goes, I don't know what the hell's going on night to night. They call it one way, and then he rattled off like 5 different plays where they just got mugged, because that's kind of how Wisconsin plays too. They just mugged us, and there was no call. And he's like, we do that 2 games ago at Michigan State, and then we get called fouls. And it's just like, it's frustrating.
Today was a weirdly reffed game because there was a lot of fouls, and there was 32 fouls called.
Yeah, there was. There was a lot of fouls. I think there was a lot of fouling.
More. There could have been a lot more.
Yeah, there could have been more. I'm glad he said that about Owen, that I just wasn't, because I've said that before, and I've kind of gotten like that from the coaches, but I'm glad they did say that, because I thought there was a little bit more there tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely looked like he just belonged more out there tonight. He didn't look so lost.
And I hear what he's saying, but you can't go to the crowd now. I mean, we'll have a nice crowd. We always do, but you can't, the crowd's not going to come in amped up. They just aren't.
It's Valentine's Day. That might help. And the fact that we've had 3 buzzer beater wins this year at home might help, just because people are feeling it. The last couple home games have been pretty fun. So
I don't know. When I ask guys to go to the game that would normally go, they're like, nah. I mean, they just don't want to go. I mean, they're just not interested. I don't know. Why do you think Valentine's Day would help the crowd?
I'm just thinking of people like us, for example. I mean, we're going to probably have a babysitter and go out to dinner after and make it an event that I normally wouldn't do.
My wife ain't going to the game. Shit, she ain't going to the basketball game at Valentine's Day. No, so, yeah, there's just so many things in this game. We had that string of like 3 turnover possessions in a row in the second half too. Isaac I don't know what he was doing. Just like bounced it off his foot. And Fedor had an easy layup. Like Altman used to always say, simple plays, guys. Just simple plays. Don't try and, I'm sure he was going in thinking he was going to dunk it. No, just lay it in there, Harper, use the backboard, man. Just make a layup there. Gee.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you people who had the over were happy. That last bucket put it over the total.
I don't know if you saw the point spread switch from DePaul 1.5 favorites
why all of a sudden we were favored.
Yeah, I don't know what
That
happened there. Maybe Swartz playing. I don't know.
That's just that's a money line game anyway. You just take the money line because it's such a small point spread. You actually get a little bit of extra money if you're on the bad side, because it rarely ends up 1. Well, today it did, but if it would have flipped around, if they wouldn't have scored that button, it would have been 1 and you'd have lost out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're digging the point spread. So here's our address again. If anybody, I don't mean to be negative, but nobody's really taking advantage of this, which would be awesome. So, all right. So let's talk. Let's get this worst call of the game out of the way.
I think we already talked about it, Tim.
It's a jump ball.
Yeah.
That was a deciding factor in the game too. Deciding factor. That was our ball.
Honestly, it could have went with no call either. It didn't even they could have called nothing there, and that would have been fine too. There was a little typo of the ball, and then there was clearly not a foul there in my mind.
Let's put it this way: I've seen that play with no call more than I've seen it a foul this year.
Right. Exactly.
Whoever has the ball, us, the other team, whoever.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I want to go back to what Al said about, you said, well, the refs on the 0.7 versus 1. But he phrased it as there was a miscommunication. Now, is he just being nice? I don't know.
That's what I took it as.
But
nice.
or did somebody not did somebody miscommunicate? Talk, how they always go over there and they're talking to one ref and another guy's talking to another ref. They should just have one guy out there so you get the damn story straight. And Al's kind of run the team anyway. Max should be the guy that's out there getting the story straight. And 0.7 versus 1 is incredibly different. I don't think he gets that shot off if it's 0.7. There's no way.
They always say you have to have 0.8 to get a shot off.
I think it's 0.7.
Either way.
0.7 or more. I think it is. I could be wrong, but I think it is. That you can shoot, and then you have to have 0.3 to be able to tip it, I think. Basically. Unless they changed it, but it used to be 0.7. They might have changed it. Anyway. Okay, let's get into the chats.
Yeah. Volvo Mike asked how Alexa is progressing. 46 to 12 points in the paint at DePaul hurts. I know Kalk is gone. I know we live and die by the 3, but we need a big.
Alexa's out for the year. He hurt his foot. He has a small, well, I can't talk about it, but he's got a foot problem and a knee problem. But I think he's out for the year. And they weren't going to pull the red shirt anyway, so it wasn't going to matter.
But I will say from practices, he is very skilled. He obviously is kind of like freshman Kalkbrenner, where he needs to probably gain some weight and get, a little bit wider and thicker. But
I wonder if the language thing's a problem too. Because I know it is with Karam. Karam got lit up in practice yesterday, so I wasn't shocked that he didn't get in the game.
Yeah, not a single minute. That's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that.
if he's if he's playing well, he would take away that lob from that guy because he can get up pretty well. But
yeah,
anyway. Okay, that's one. Anyway.
I mean, a lot of comments, but nothing of significance, honestly.
What's wrong with our chatters tonight?
Well, someone just said, glad we can take those 2 timeouts back to Omaha. We now know that we tried to call timeout and it didn't get called. Someone said, why no looks for Josh in the last minute? I mean, agree. But I feel like they're probably going to be all over him.
We went with Schwartz once, so you can't argue that. I mean, he was doing it, and he had the matchup he wanted.
Yeah.
He should have just taken. And he kind of had that bobble in there, which kind of hurt. He's not a true ball handler, so that hurt him there.
Mm-hmm.
But they were waiting. So the thing was Hudson left the corner and kind of flattened it out. Yeah, I know. The freshmen have a hard time with that because Max he's always yelling. Like, if you see Trout, you'll see Trout just standing in the corner. And you'll be like, well, what is he doing? No, that's what they want him to do. Stand in the corner. Yeah. And that's what, on that play, they would want Hud just to stand in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably came up trying to make himself available. He just stood in the corner, maybe. Then he gets the pass, and he could have knocked the shot down. But Yeah, that's a big if there. That's really reaching.
Right. Yeah, and then someone asked about Trout's minutes, and that was right before you asked Huss about Trout. So I figured I don't know if you saw that one or not, or if it was just timely, but we kind of got our answer there already. And then a couple comments just about how that was tough to watch and how the season's over, and that's about all we got.
Well, here's the other thing. We've been joking about the Crown. This loss may have sealed our fate for the Crown because I did not know this. The Crown's only 8 teams this year.
Hmm.
It was 16 last year, so there was a lot more spots. There was like 4 spots. And I saw somebody do a mock-up of the Crown, and I know they had a 16-team bracket. So I was shocked yesterday when Jacob Padilla said from Herdit said, no, it's an 8 team. And I'm like, what? I went and looked, and it's an 8 team. And so there's only 2 teams from Big East, Big 10, and Big 12, and then they just take 2 other teams. Well, you're going to have to be they go by net. So Seton Hall has a better net than anybody else, and then it's Butler next. Well, even with the Butler loss to UConn, we're not going to catch them.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to lose a bunch, and we'd have to win a bunch to get back. Our numbers are actually better than Butler's, our other metrics, but they're going by net, I guess. That's what I was told, but I can't find anywhere where that says this is how we pick the teams. So I don't know. And then you got to have a 500 record or above. I think above 500 to get in the NIT. I'm fuzzy. I'd have to look. Did the Big East put teams in the NIT last year? I'd have to look. I think we're still eligible for that. I would think they would want that. Otherwise, then they would shut out the Big 10 and the Big 12, and they wouldn't really want that. But everybody wants the Crown because it's a lot bigger payoff, and it's the tournament is later, so you get all that practice time. Plus, it's all condensed into a short period of time.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we could go to the NIT, but I mean, again, you accept a bid. You don't have to accept. I mean, that can cost you money. You can actually lose money on that deal.
Right.
And it just would depend on how many other NIT teams, like right now you've got teams like New Mexico or first 4 out. Well, they're going to go to the NIT. Or they could be chosen by the Crown, and they would love to go to Vegas. It's a nice trip for them from Albuquerque to Vegas. So then the NIT loses that, and, then you're basically taking a lot of mid-major teams,
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a comeback by Grand Canyon, too. They were way down. They were down 20 in New Mexico, and they're now up by 2. This game will be the coup de grace for New Mexico's NCAA chance. They lose this. That'll be 3 losses in a row in the Mountain West. And I digress, but hey, how about North Dakota State going to the Mountain West? How great is that? That's awesome. That's awesome. And they are trying to get, hear this. So today I saw they're trying to get it waived because they usually there used to be a 3-year wait period because they felt like teams had to get their, everything up in order, to a Division I football program. Well, North Dakota State doesn't have to do that. I mean, they've got better facilities than a lot of D1 schools. So they're trying to petition the NCAA to waive all that and let them be eligible for bowl games, let them be eligible for the, they think they can actually in a couple of years be the winner of the Mountain West and be in the, what do they call it, group of 6 or whatever, and be the best team in that group. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them, man.
I mean, they've been so dominant.
Because every time they play power schools, they beat them. I mean, and they don't play just the bottom rungs. They play the middle tier teams.
Right.
Like Iowa. I'd always be like, Iowa, why are you scheduling them, Iowa? Don't schedule them anymore. What are you doing? Minnesota used to schedule them. There was more North Dakota State fans there than Gopher fans. And they would crush them every year. Like, don't schedule them. So now, anyway, they're eligible to play this year. Like, so they don't, they've got to pretty much wipe their whole schedule out that they had. Imagine they had it all set up, and they've got to try and find other D1 teams to play in the non-conference. They said they play one FCS team. I'm sure they can get one from the Valley really easy, but they, geez.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
And then they were joking about stadium, but their stadium will be the second smallest behind Hawaii's. So, because it's obviously indoors and it's like 18,000 something. And I think they sell out every game, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, ticket price will go up, but because they got to pay for all this stuff. But I'll guarantee you, somebody will fork up some dough and they'll build a 30,000, 35,000 dome stadium out there.
I'm sure they will.
I digress because I got to talk about something that's somewhat joy lifting. God, Max got to just be. Max said at a few press conferences because this team will drive me nuts. This team's going to drive me nuts.
He said if he makes it through the year with this group, it'll be a miracle. So,
and it's just now Schwartz has been off a few games. Now this game he was on. Okay. Graves played horrible until he hit that shot the other night. He played terrible.
Yeah.
Tonight he played better. Josh, again, we haven't commented on Josh's play in a week and a half, 2 weeks, but Josh was fine, not fine, really good. But then I guess Jason was all right. I mean, he hit some threes early, but tonight Harper was awful. And Schwartz is bad on defense, and Isaac, he just the way they play, he couldn't play, and Hud was good. You start talking about, you add up, you go, well, Schwartz was good on offense. Josh had an all-around good game. Green had a pretty good game. Owen was much better. Hudson was good. How did we lose?
I've been saying this since the first game. We need a 5. That's clearly why we lost. And we dominated down low.
But that we don't have one. So
it
is what it is.
I mean, this is going to keep happening, until we can fix that.
Wait till you go to St. John's and UConn next week.
Better have 3-point shooting games like
I would
today.
just go with 5 guards and say screw it. Just hope you can just knock down shots. Make Zuby guard somebody on the perimeter and hope you can get by him. And
Hey, it's not a bad strategy.
I mean,
double team down low.
Although when you do watch them, there's games where they just come out slow and they don't hit shots, and teams really hang around a long time with them.
They hit everything in Omaha. It was
Oh yeah, they played their. Patino even said it was probably their best game. But at the end of the day, we're still in 4th. Now we're just tied with Seton Hall, but we have the tiebreaker for now. Now, if we beat Villanova, we'll pretty much clinch the tiebreaker, unless Seton Hall beats one of the top teams. And I just don't see that happening because they're done with Villanova. So, and they're done with us. So we would still hold the tiebreaker. So we would, I'm not, it doesn't matter if you're 4th or 5th, I'm obviously just what color jersey you wear, but that would come into play if there's a 3-way tie, say between us, Seton Hall, and Georgetown. Well, then they're going to go head to head. And we got to, if we all go 2-2, then we're going to go with a tiebreaker with Seton Hall. Well, we beat one of the top teams and they didn't. So then we would get the, because the staff doesn't want to play that 6-11 game. And,
right.
I don't blame them this year because that 6 seed could lose that 11 game really easy this year.
They have all the same record right now.
My God, Marquette damn near beat Villanova last night.
I told you Marquette's going to be a problem the rest of the year. They got something going over there.
So anyway, but I mean, it's kind of fatalist. Like most years, are like, yeah, we could win this tournament. Nobody honestly thinks we can win the Big East tournament. I mean, be the greatest miracle. Although I guess Georgetown did it that one year.
Sure.
They were terrible that year too.
They beat us by like
And then,
what 20
and then I
something?
loved everybody in their bracket picked Georgetown. I'm like, Georgetown's going to get killed. They played Oregon State. I said, Oregon State's going to kill them, and they did.
Yeah, the Big East standings is hilarious right now. Georgetown 5-8, DePaul 5-9, Xavier 4-9, Butler 4-10, Providence 4-10, Marquette 4-10. There's pretty much 6 teams within a game.
And doesn't Seton Hall's got a big game, I think, this weekend too. Let me look. All right, so
Play
here's
Butler
what.
Sunday.
Yeah. So that ain't gonna be no cakewalk.
Yeah, they still have
St.
at
John's goes to
Butler.
Providence. See, they could lose that game. They could lose that game to Providence. Real easy. Marquette Xavier. Yeah, tell me who's gonna win that one. God, how are you supposed to pick that game?
Marquette. That's my guess.
And then next week you got Villanova at Xavier. See, Xavier, if Villanova would have lost that game the other night, we'd have won tonight. We could have caught Villanova. Yeah, then St. John's Marquette, so that's not going to help us. Seton Hall hosts DePaul, but DePaul's a different team. DePaul's a vastly different team at home this year than they are on the road. They've been getting, they got thumped by Providence. So, yeah. Wow, what a barn burner we got. 63-62. 3 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Sorry. Ooh, it's a good game. All right, any more chats?
Martin Swanson said baseball starts Friday, but that's it.
It does. Well, my wife's made plans for us. It's all set to sit down at 4 o'clock and watch the Creighton Blue Jays play baseball. I'm going to miss that. And then Saturday. What's going on Saturday? I'll be able to watch them Saturday. No, I won't. We got basketball.
Basketball game. Yeah.
And then we got our post-game show.
Sure do.
Ooh, they can have it up on. Oh, we can have it up in the studio though. There we go. Now that's something you can watch while you're doing your show. You know what I mean? Basketball. If you're not, you turn around all of a sudden. Oh wait, that other team was up by 5. Now they're down by 4. Baseball is kind of a little bit. The scores don't happen as quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely slower paced.
Unsung hero. Hudson.
Yeah.
Frankly, Schwartz was definitely a hero. Jason Green played well. Thank God Nick made a lot of free throws tonight, though. Sure seemed like it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say Nick.
He kind of kept us in the game with the free throws.
A couple really bad fouls that kind of threw us out of the game, too, though.
What's that?
He had a couple really bad fouls, too, that kind of threw us out of the game.
Foul on the baseline that was just dumb.
Yeah.
Mac was so upset. Yeah, God, he had 8 assists tonight. He played a pretty good game.
Yeah.
The other thing Hudson didn't do tonight was rebound.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he normally does,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
So yeah, I think it's probably him. He blocked a shot tonight too. Well, we need a couple more of him. We need a big guy, and we need. I'll just say, a couple assistants told me yesterday, guard play. We're just not, and I think McCall mentioned it tonight on the broadcast. We're just not consistent enough in our guard play.
For sure.
Think about the last 10 years. We've had Trey and Baylor. and then even Jemiah was a wild card for most of the year, but last part of February and March, yeah, pretty good ball player.
Yeah.
So we've had consistency at that guard position, that 2-3 position. We've always had point guards, but the 2-3, gosh, even back when Tyshawn and Mitch were young, they were inconsistent. But once they got to be sophomore, juniors, then from then on, Tyshawn was only their junior year, but then they were very consistent. Yeah. Fedor's another guy that's just not consistent, and I'm not talking about making shots. I'm talking about
Just play
defensively,
overall.
talking about handling the ball, I'm talking about being in the right spot.
He had another bad foul today. That offensive screen when we had the ball with like 2
Yeah,
minutes left.
it's just, what are you doing?
Handed the
It's
ball
just
to
a what are
him.
you doing play. We have too many. That's the problem. If you get one of those a game, that's really not that horrible, I guess. But we have 3 and 4 a game. 5. Tonight, Ty just, he's standing right there for the rebound and didn't get it. Usually he's a pretty good rebounder. He didn't even really make an effort at it. That was in the first half. Yeah, all that stuff is just frustrating. Oh. And, I just wonder. I mean, it's too early to start talking about this, but I just wonder about the composition of the roster next year. Like, how many guys? You might be surprised. There might be more gone than you think.
Well, we have a bunch of first-year players on our team now, so I wouldn't really be surprised if any of them left, just because, if you leave once, you're probably bound to leave again.
New Mexico's going to win this one. All right. Hey, I want to talk about RTI Threads, though. They've been a wonderful sponsor all season, and we really appreciate everything they do. So go to rtithreads.com. Check out everything they have to offer. Tees, sweats, hats, you name it, they've got it. They can make merchandise for your business. They'll design it, print it. It'll look great, trust me, because these quarter zips right here look flipping awesome. So do the T-shirts that I'm going to get AJ one of those here in the near future.
Saturday.
So go to RTA Threads. They've got jerseys for both men's and women's teams. By the way, the women we were talking about off here a little bit, that escalated quickly, 94-44. They were actually in the game midway through the second quarter. It was like a 3-point game, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. We hit some threes, and UConn got off to a really slow start, and they just turned us over. God, they're just so tough on that press. And, I don't know if you don't follow women's college basketball, but UConn beats the good teams by 30 points. And I'm talking good teams in the country. So to lose by 50 is really not that bad. Like, it's got to just be, God, I don't know. It's got to just be tremendously boring for them. Like, Gino's got to get them up every game. You know what I mean? Like, oh, who we playing now at DePaul? Oh, yeah, we beat them by 42 last time. Okay. Yeah. Like, and is it going to hurt them when they get into the tournament because they don't, they're not really challenged? I don't know. Defending champs, maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow, Martin, you'll want to watch Blue Jay Banner today because I'm going to do a baseball preview for the series against St. Mary's and the season. And then we will post again our interview with Coach Kingston. I don't know if you heard this. So last week on Blue Jay Banner today, we're only about 4 or 5 views away from having the highest viewed Blue Jay Banner Today show for a week since we've been doing them. So that's pretty great. And this week's and the week before that was awesome too, right up there at the top. And this week is off to an awesome start. So, We did a show on Monday, improbable wins by Creighton that included a buzzer beater, which we defined as a shot in the last 20 or 30 seconds. And then the other team didn't score after that. And since we did our list, we've had 2 more entries from our fans. So thank you very much. People put them in chats, put them on Twitter that we got to consider. So Mike and I are going to get together next week and do another episode of that and kind of reboot with those new games in there, because there's one we have to add that we just, there's just, when you start adding them up, you're like, oh, there can only be 3 or 4. And you start adding them up, there's a lot of them. There is a lot that came down to the wire, like significant games,
Yeah.
And the DePaul game last year in the Big East tournament, that was,
That was a wild game.
Yeah, and we don't even have that in our top 5 because we said, people were more like shocked that it was that close rather than really, worried about it. But that was about as improbable as you can get to come back and win that one.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to go to bed. We got a little live golf on right now. They must be playing over in Saudi Arabia or something. Nice.
We're way past my bedtime, Tim.
Nice. Well, I got some more computer work to do, so. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We had a pretty good tranche of people listening. We got one more chat. Did you get that last chat?
Yeah, Unsung Hero is the Peacock app for buffering the whole game, so I wasn't able to watch the TV for the loss.
Well,
we've gotten a few of those last couple losses.
Yeah, I actually, I've had pretty good luck with it. Tonight there was just a couple, but not bad at all. Not bad at all.
I had audio issues tonight. The audio kept trailing the video by like 10 seconds.
Oh,
But
yeah, that
I tried to
happens
keep-
once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's here to stay, right? So, and then most of the Big East tournaments on Peacock,
Great.
which really sucks because I like to have stuff on picture-in-picture, and on my TV and that doesn't get the internet, so I can't do that.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, so we'll be back with you on the post game on Saturday at about 3:45ish. Villanova game. Let's hope we can get a win. Just get back to above 500 again, or stay above 500. Would be 14-12 then. Villanova would be a nice boost to our resume, and the fact that Georgetown's playing UConn. Who else is it? No, Georgetown's not in front. It's Butler is in front of us that we had to catch. And Providence is just directly in front of us, but they'll probably drop tonight. I don't know. Not that much, though. But anyway, we still have a chance to get like number 2 for the crown. There's an outside chance. And I would think how we do in the Big East tournament might sway some people as well. I just think the crown would be better for us because we could give the guys a week off, then bring them back, practice, and then we could just do full practices for a couple weeks. And going to Vegas, it's going to be really nice that time of year. It's kind of crappy here the first part of April. Be really nice. Go to Vegas. Have them go to Vegas. They seem to enjoy that. So, anyway. Well, guys, we only got 6 more games left. I know people wait for this all year. Luckily we haven't had a year like this since 2015, 14, 15. So it's been 10 years. And even that year, it was fine because it was our second year in the Big East. A lot of the games were close. We knew that was going to happen. So we weren't really, the expectations weren't there. I think the expectations were here, not only for the team, but for a lot of players. And, that's just the way it is. We'll try and stay enthusiastic, okay?
Go to you.
Power through it. Thanks, AJ. Thanks, everybody. We will see you tomorrow morning on Blue Jay Banner Today.